was a princess in this fairy tale, gumdrop streets where the sun would always shine, until a new world came along. Lights, camera, action, I'm the main attraction, posted up to get the reaction in this life of a social media star. Everybody knows who you are. They say I'm goals, yeah, I raise that bar. I'm a beauty guru, I've come so far. I'm going viral, I'm getting the hits. Like and subscribe for the algorithm. Hey, I'm bringing
Like
it
and
down, honey, with the
subscribe.
dream. Honey, I'm living that dream. Get to do what I love every day, every night on your iPhone screen. Got that follower count going up, not down, cause they like my style. And if you wanna get to know me, look at my work on my link in bio.
Okay, I had to stop it. No? Yeah, I had to stop it for a bit. I had to stop it for a bit. Did you see that I said, like, in 3 of my videos, I was Queen Bring of Good Hope instead of Bringer of Good Hope? Did you see that? Do you think I'm going to change it? Absolutely not. Why should I change it? Why should you have that much power over me that I am going to spend another, I don't know, 20 minutes re-recording the video because I made a mistake? I use my creativity as a time for making mistakes, as a time for failing forward fast, as a time for just like, yeah, this is creativity. It can be messy. But when I'm dealing with war strategy, I am so precise. It's like nobody's business. There are things that you have to be super precise in. And there are things that, you can. The right hemisphere of the brain is meant for that creative aspect of yourself, that innovation, that making of mistakes and being okay. It's more of a feminine energy. It's like, it's okay. Just try. It's very seductive, and like, it's okay to just learn through mistakes. It's okay to learn through setbacks. It's okay to learn through failing forward fast. It's okay to say, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing right now, but I'm going to try something. And if it works, okay, great. If it doesn't work, I'm going to learn something myself, learn something about the market, about human beings, and I'm going to take that learning forward into my next endeavor. But so many of us are so programmed into perfection. If it's not perfect, Queen Bring of Good Hope. This is what I teach my children. Yo, man, there's no such thing as perfection. I teach them by just looking at the rocks. I'm like, can you see a perfect rock? All of these rocks are different, and they are perfect in the way they are and how different they are. All trees are different. Not all the trees are the same. Not all butterflies are the same. But as human beings, we have been taught that if we're not fitting into this box, we need to be ostracized, humiliated, smear campaigns created on us, hated, all sorts, gossiped about because we're not fitting in the stereotype. And I'm sorry, but like, when I look at the masses, as David Henry Thoreau says, the masses of men, including women, are living in a quiet desperation, knowing that they're going to hell realms. They unconsciously know. Human beings unconsciously know that they're going to hell realms. They know. That's why they don't mind being nasty and cruel and gossipy and vile and all sorts of things. They kind of know on some kind of level that they're going to hell realm. What hell realm they're going to, maybe they're not sure. But I don't believe that we have to have this as our destiny. I don't believe it. I think we can get out. I have hope for humanity. I have hope in humanity because I have hope in life. And I have hope because I've seen life work through me when I was like depressed. So I have hope. I know when you give your grief to Mother Earth And if it's just like lying, I'm not saying you take your clothes off. If you've got a backyard where nobody's going to see you and you want to take your clothes off, just then take your clothes off and just lie on the ground and be like, Mother Earth, I am just in grief right now. It's just going down emotionally for me. And then lie back up and let Grandpa the Sun just damn bless you with the blessings of a trillion suns. And you're like, I am just really down right now. I need help from the highest realms of the celestials. Say this, I need help from the highest realms of the celestials, highest realms of the celestials, highest realms where love reigns supreme, abundance for all beings reigns supreme, joy for all beings reigns supreme, peace for all beings reigns supreme. Because when you're asking for help from that level, as you get help for yourself and a solution to help yourself, that solution to help yourself is going to be able to help other people like you. We're not all functioning at the same wavelength of consciousness. We're not all functioning at the same way. Some people are pink and some people are blue. Some people are dark skinned. Some people are light skinned, right? Some people think more mathematically. Some people think more creatively. Some people are thinking about airplanes and some people are thinking about fashion. I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with fashion or makeup or wigs or it's creativity. I love that. Look, I have eyelashes. So every time I speak about women in wigs and stuff like this, it's not that I'm attacking women in wigs. I used to wear wigs. I love changing up. You can see I just will have colored hair and then I shave it off and then I grow it back on. I love creative expression and I love change and innovation. But when that just becomes the main focus of your life and you forget that, yo man, there's other stuff in this world that is important, it becomes a living nightmare to some degree. Because how long can you keep up with the beauty? Eventually, you need to learn how to age gracefully and accept yourself as you are, and say, okay, I like to wear makeup and I like to wear eyelashes. Okay, that's you. You do you. I am Tembi, Queen Bringer of Good Hope. I like to sunbathe. I don't like to wear makeup. I like to have a little bit of color on my face. So that's why I wear colored eyelashes. But this is not my thing every day. My spiritual awakening, my purpose, fulfilling that is my thing. This is just extra, just to just be, extra. So today I would love for us to forgive God for all the people that shamed us and mocked us and laughed at us when we were crying. Crying is in such an important way to release grief. So many of us, I'm drinking tea now. I have to drink my teas. I'm drinking chamomile with ginger because today was a long teaching day. I have energy like nobody's business. I am so grateful. I don't even know how to express the gratitude. Like, I don't even know how to express the gratitude. I have so much energy. I am teaching all day long. I am truly on purpose. And I'm speaking my truths. And they are very uncomfortable. And I have to sometimes look at myself and say, how do I say this in the most loving way, but like get the point across? You'll wake up. There's no more time to be asleep. Sometimes it comes out beautifully. Sometimes it just doesn't. And I trust myself now. If something has to come out like, Kali ferociousness, it means it has to come out Kali ferociousness, and whatever the change that's going to happen, as long as I have the intention of change and love, and may the voice and the words of my heart be for goodness. May they land in a good way. May they come from a good place. Only in a good way. And sometimes, yes, I have to use ferocious Kali energy and segment energy, but like, I don't shame myself about that. As women, we have been shamed about that. That's why we just sometimes are pathetic souls, just crying. Sometimes you've got to take up that segment energy and that Kali energy is just enough. And that's okay. Okay. So today I would like for us to forgive God for all the people that shamed us, mocked us when we were crying. Crying is so helpful. Cry. If you need to cry, you damn cry. People who cannot cry are people who are emotionally retarded. They are emotional illiterates, psychological illiterates. And there's nothing wrong with saying people are psychological illiterates. They are. It's what they are. Why must we sugarcoat it and say, oh no, I don't care that you've got a PhD. If you don't understand that crying is important, you are an illiterate. You're illiterate about your own emotions, about what actually is important in life. You're illiterate. Sorry, not sorry to tell you this. Is this your fault? No, it is designed that way so that you can spin out of control in your head and be out of whack and make some really bad choices. And then stay in the slave consciousness matrix. And then die. And then go to hell realms. And then, the dark agenda wins. But that's not happening here, because if you're watching this video, it means you're a visionary, or you are going through the awakening stage of a visionary or a chosen one, and you're watching this video on purpose. It was designed that you were watching this video. No jokes. So let's forgive God for the people who have shamed us for making mistakes. And when we were crying, they shamed us and told us, shush, I'll beat you so that there's something that you're crying for. How dare you cry? This could have been, when you start forgiving these sorts of things, you'll remember what was happening at 4 years old. Your teacher telling you they'll beat you. So what they were teaching you how to do is suppress your emotions and not express your emotions. And creativity comes from our emotions most of the time. The most beautiful music comes from that pain sometimes, or that joy, or that nostalgia, or that ambiguous, uncertain situation or experience that you're living through. But if they want you to be a robot, they'll make you dumb down your emotions. And they'll make you shame people who are artists or who are creatively expressing themselves, because then you can accept that about yourself. And so you can never creatively think yourself out of problems. And you start hating the divine feminine, and you curse the divine feminine within yourself, because you just hate people who are creatively expressing themselves. And so your life is a shit show all day long. And then, of course, you're going to die and go to hell realms. This is written. But this kind of self-loathing and this kind of self-hatred and shaming others for expressing their emotions is a strategy of war. It is designed to this. So this is why I say stop forgiving people. Father, forgive them, for they know not what they are doing, as the Christians would say. Stop forgiving people. They know not what they are doing. They know not. If they actually understood what they were doing and the consequences of participating in hate consciousness, they would realize that their ancestors had prayed and worked so hard for them to be here, and they just don't care. How much self-hatred is that? But that too, self-hatred is a strategy of war. The more you hate yourself, the more you judge others, and the more, of course, you're going to hate somebody else who is different, who is living a better lifestyle as you might judge it. And that's just envy, which is what? A strategy of war. Jealousy, a strategy of war. There is enough for all beings on planet Earth. We don't need to steal from each other, gossip for each other, betray each other. There is more than enough, but of course they're not going to tell you this. They need you to be messed up in the head. And as you are messed up in the head, you mess up your children, you mess up people in your company, you mess up people in your community, in your churches. and then you be isolated, and in that isolation, that's when the happens. And there goes another soul. It's designed this way. Sorry, not sorry to be stoic about it and really blunt about it. I'm kind of tired of the love and light. They need souls. These beings need souls. I have no idea who these beings are. I cannot to understand. It's exhausting. It's chikahuris. I'm tired of chikahuris. There is a higher prayer. There is a higher intention, a higher vision for all beings who are tapped into this idea that love reigns supreme, peace for the children so that they can express themselves. So that when you reincarnate, you're reincarnating into a beautiful world where creativity and art and music and love is the name of the game. It is the only thing happening. So, like, yeah, you can forgive the people that have shamed you for crying, that have mocked you for crying. But I mean, they are living in such hell. It's like, mercy. But let's forgive God. Because sometimes we are really angry at God. God, how can you create people like this? But like, you've been like that once upon a time. Do you know what I mean? When I start getting real angry, I'm like, oh, it's probably a memory down there that I don't really want to look at. And I don't really want to admit to myself. I've said to people, stop crying. And maybe they just needed to cry that day. But no. Borderlines use it as a strategy to manipulate you. So no, I figured that out. There are people who just genuinely just need to cry. And when you just give them that space and you don't hold space, you don't do anything, you just witness them. Because sometimes we just need that person to witness us. I go to trees now, it's easier. And I go to the fish in the ocean when I'm snorkeling. And as the fishy are looking at me like, I'm like, oh my God, the universe is looking at me going, oh, you are beautiful. Continue. We love you. And sometimes I cry even when I'm snorkeling. Yeah. Especially during a full moon because my emotions get really intense. It's okay to cry. And it's okay to understand that some people are just not there yet. Their emotional world scares them. So they would rather project blame, shame. And yo, man, the spiritual awakening is happening. So whether you're going to project blame, shame, drink yourself to, I don't know what, nirvana, awakening, it's going to happen. It's actually happening. So if part of your journey is crying every single day, schedule crying. Just schedule time to cry. I'm going to cry for 30 minutes. I'm going to let it out. The ugly cry. And if you've got to lock yourself up in the toilet and damn cry. It's better to go outside into the garden. Do your radical forgiveness there. God, I'm so angry at all the people that have shamed me from when I was like crying when I was a day old and the nurses were like, bam, when I came out of my mother's womb and they made me cry by beating me. It starts there. Actually, it doesn't even start there. It starts in, conception, preconception. You have no idea. Parallel lifetimes, future lifetimes, past lifetimes. So as you start forgiving God, it is collapsing the egoic story that you need to be punished. This is what I started understanding when I started forgiving God for people who laughed at me and mocked me when I was crying. It's like, oh, so I'm supposed to be punished for my brilliance. I'm supposed to be punished for my creative innovations. I'm supposed to be punished for how abundant I think and how abundant the life experience I have. I'm supposed to be punished and stolen from and taken from. But like, where did I get this idea from? Like, who implanted that idea into my mind? Definitely not my parents. It's like such a disturbing idea. God is like forever giving, forever beautiful, forever expanding, forever innovative in like the species of fish and flowers that we keep discovering. And I don't see God punishing itself as the bird beating itself up for being so beautiful and so abundant, and knowing that everything the bird needs it's going to have. I've never seen this. I've studied nature for long enough. I've never seen this. So where did I get the idea that I need to be punished for being affluent, for believing in a prosperity and innovation and a good life? It must be a past lifetime, maybe. And that's okay. But if I'm experiencing that in this lifetime, I gotta do something about it. I can't just keep wallowing in the, oh, people are jujuing me, people are cursing me, people are maybe, but what does that do for me? It just disempowers me. But if I do this work and say, okay, this keeps showing up in my life, these fucked up, crazy people with their borderlines and they wanting the theft consciousness and this extortion and this and this and this. I'm not really involved in these things. I don't understand why these people keep showing up in my life with their borderlines and their narcissism and all of this stuff. And they are making me really upset, right? You can say that to yourself. I'm just making an example of me, right? They keep stealing and what the frick? I don't engage in this. I don't like, I've done my forgiveness work of when I was maybe mean to someone at school. Oh my God, show me what part of me thinks that this is okay and I must accept this. Is this some of my karma that I need to work out? Maybe not. Okay, but like, why does this keep happening? Maybe it's a past lifetime. Maybe it's just the collective unconscious. Maybe we have all signed on to the story that we're going to be abused for our divinity, for our beauty, for our creativity, for our love, until we say enough is enough. I'm waking up from this nightmare story, and I'm going to use this process to wake myself up from this nightmare story. And if you want to live in this nightmare story, sorry, not sorry, but I got to bounce. Go by and God bless them boundaries. You stay there with your hell. I stay here in my joy. And I think it's really a collective experience. Honestly, when I start looking at it, it's a collective experience. We all have as souls, have chosen to take varying degrees of slavery and misery and hell realms to prove to ourselves that we can actually get ourselves out of that. And I think that's the joy and the beauty of life. To prove that we are the face of divinity, we are the face of abundance, we are the face of creativity, we are the face of love. And so we have to like incarnate into situations where they really test that resolve. Am I truly going to stand that in the truth that I am the face of abundance no matter what? And so I must be in integrity, and I cannot engage in anything that can soil that truth in my own soil, in my own soul. And I cannot be involved with anybody who is unwilling to self-actualize beyond greed, beyond manipulation, beyond theft consciousness. I mean, your group of friends becomes smaller and smaller. The amount of people that you hang out with becomes smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. And then you find out that, oh my goodness, you can tap into a vast field of such beautiful, celestial, creative ideas and mentors that you cannot find when you're still tapped into all of the drama and the soap operas and the mental health issues and all of that stuff. But so many of us are afraid of walking alone. And sometimes it is going to take walking alone so that you can have those moments of crying and be okay. Because so many people are afraid of crying. I'm just looking at my children. They are so freely expressed with their emotions. When they need to cry, they just damn let it out. They just cry. And I'm like, oh my goodness. As adults, it just gets bad. But like, when does it get bad? When does it get bad? Because my children are like 4 to 13, and all of them just let it out when they just like are fighting, and I'm like, hey, cut it out with the fighting. And one just has an emotional reaction. Boys, because most of my children are boys, they just let it out. I'm just like, I encourage this. When did we tell men that it's not okay to cry? Who came up with this idea? So men are not supposed to have feelings. It's only us as women that are supposed to have feelings. No, these men have feelings that are repressed so deep. That's why, because underneath all that anger, underneath all of that rage is just sadness that I haven't been able to express myself. and fulfill my purpose and activate both my masculine and my feminine side, you know? So it's okay if you're a man and you want to cry. And if you're like, yeah, but like I'm a macho, bro, okay, just go out into nature, into the forest, and just like fucking let it out. Scream if you must, and just cry. And when it gets really bad, just like bend over and just put your forehead on the ground and cry onto Mother Earth. She's the only one that can handle your rage. No woman can handle your rage. Sometimes even these therapists and these psychiatrists can't handle your rage. That's why these men go to these therapists and then they put a knife on them here. Or they want to kill you or rape you or all of these things. It's the rage. Underneath that is just sadness. Men who feel so unwanted in this world, so unloved, so unsupported. It's the rage and the anger, but it's all designed so that we can hate each other and men can keep abusing each other and sextorting women who are trying to help them. It is designed like this. And until we wake up from this, we're going to kill each other. Not that we really aren't, but death is not real. But why waste this incarnation and have to relive your hells so that you can redo it again next incarnation? Like, don't waste this incarnation. Don't waste this incarnation. So if people have mocked you, have shamed you for crying, and that has held you from expressing yourself, and now you can't creatively think yourself out of your problems, forgive God for creating these dum-dums. And the more real you get about it, and the more angry you get about it, the freer you get faster. If you have to call them dum-dums, call them dum-dums. These fucking dum-dums. Mindless wigs. Do whatever you've got to do. Say whatever you've got to do. It is your experience. What does radical forgiveness say? I own my feelings. No one can make me feel anything. My feelings are a reflection of how I see the situation, how I see it. I'm sorry that is not how you want to see the situation. This is what I'm telling you, that you must say this to people or say this in your head. I'm sorry that this is not how you see the situation, but I'm not going to negate my own life experience, my own emotional well-being, so that I can validate you're crazy. And I don't want you to do the same to validate my crazy. So let's love each other and part ways in peace, never to reconcile again. And you then continue to do your healing work, your forgiveness work, because if you don't, you're going to meet more of these people, because human beings are traumatized. Human beings are traumatized. Human beings are living through war. They're living through domestic violence. They're living through burnout at work. They're living through relational hell. Human beings are traumatized. I have definite evolutionary compassion for human beings, but you gotta do your own work. I gotta do my own work so that we can show up as love, like unbridled love for each other, because this is the only way we make it out. Hatred's not gonna win. Hate is a strategy of war. Meta. May I be happy. May I be peaceful. May I be liberated from all ignorance. May I be liberated from all suffering. May all beings be happy. May all beings be peaceful. May all beings be liberated from all ignorance. May all beings be liberated from all suffering. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Togos, togos, togos. Be happy, be happy, be happy. Oh, I'm so loving these forgiveness processes. Like, I sleep so good. Please continue. Download the Radical Forgiveness Worksheet. And please go to the Future Gen Leaders app. We are actually going deeper into this process. We're in the planting season now, rebirthing a new vision where there's no hatred and children are happy at home and they are loved and they are learning what they want to learn and they are focused on fulfilling their purpose. And you as an adult are doing the same. And, so that we can just forgive our governments, forgive God, and forgive ourselves and get on with just them self-love and self-acceptance, just as you are. God's and the goddesses woke up this morning and said, oh, so beautiful, so intelligent, so courageous, so on purpose. I'm pleased with what I created as you. Accept that and receive that and get on with the business of living your fucking mission. Okay? We love you long time. Long time. Bye.